Welcome to the Kingdom of Wonder podcast. My name is Gabriel. If you're new to this channel, this is a podcast that focuses on the arts, culture, and people of Phnom Penh and the Kingdom of Cambodia. I've come for today's interview to Cinehub, which is the headquarters for the Cambodian International Film Festival. And I have a very special guest to talk with today, Mr. Cedric Eloy, who is the director of the festival. Thanks for doing the interview.
You're welcome. I'm very happy to be with you tonight.
Great. Can you tell us about the origins of the festival? How did things get started here?
It started 13 years ago. So in 2010, it was a time when there was very little film. There was not a lot of theaters, and so the industry was really restarting. It was an event that was accompanying the redevelopment of cinema after the opening of the Bophana Center and the launch of the Cambodia Film Commission. So the idea was to create one space where you could actually show the films that were done locally, also show the films that were made by foreigners in Cambodia, because most of the time Cambodian would help on films from USA, France, or other countries, and they would never see the films. So we imagined that moments where we could actually share images that were produced in Cambodia, and then it gave us also the opportunity to develop the film culture, so make other components. Every year we added classics or new discovery of countries in Asia or other masters. So this is the core of the festival is the start of the 2010, and after, yes, the onion grew bigger.
And how has it evolved over time?
Well, it was really a small event in 2010. We had about 1,000 people, and of course now we are gathering almost 30,000 people, and it's Cambodia has changed along the way. It's really because it's working also with the industry, so it's growing also with the audience and the industry. Now in Cambodia there are over 100 screens, modern theaters. So it's also pushing in that direction, because we want to see people going to the movies, not only watch movies on the phones.
How would you say this festival sets itself apart from other festivals around the world?
Well, it's a non-competitive festival, meaning we don't have the competition part, the awards. Maybe it will come in the future, but it's really a festival that is free of admission, which means that it's really open for a large audience to come and join. And we have a diversity of contemporary works, films, and also classics. We have focused on countries, we have focused on actors, we have focused on directors. So we are very flexible in terms of what topic we can cover. And it's really, every year, of course, we have regular sections that come, like films made in Cambodia, and also fiction and documentaries, but also we are developing since 5 years an environment program. So these are regular programs that we also try to develop and have as a rendezvous for new content every year.
Can you share some of the highlights that you have planned for this year's festival program?
Well, we have a number of programs. One very interesting one is covering the Southeast Asian in the 50s, because we are celebrating the 70th anniversary of the independence of Cambodia. So we'll be showing a lot of interesting films that are from 70, 80 years ago. Then we have African Masters cinema program, which is also quite rare to see. And we have also Cambodian short, as usual, feature film that are coming from different countries. We have a special scary section with about 10, 12 horror films from all over the world, including really great Australian classics.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and Southeast Asian, European. So it's a very, very good mix. about 140 films coming this year. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And how do you choose the films that are screened at the festival?
It's each program is built with different people. Of course, there is people who work more on documentaries, people who work more on classic or archive, and of course, we work with international organizations. CIFF is really a network of on the national level. We work almost with all producers, distributors, to really showcase what is the best content every year and what can also maybe travel to other festivals or be marketed in other countries. So the idea is really to work with, we have contact in Australia, we have contact in Europe, in USA, and we combine all of that. For example, this year in the Cambodian short program, we have 3 short films that are not by Cambodian filmmakers in Cambodia, but Cambodian Americans. So it means we are also connecting through the festival the entire diaspora of Cambodia all over the world. Yeah.
And that kind of leads me to my next question. Can you tell us about some of the partnerships the festival has with local organizations or other international organizations?
Sure. I mean, we have been building partnership with a number of embassies. I mean, we've worked last year. We did a big program with the Australian embassy, and we are also doing some again this year. We have UK embassy supporting. We have the Swiss SDC agency. Heinrich Böll Foundation has been a partner for a long time also. Oxfam has been partner. So we are combining a lot of the different organizations that are very active here in Cambodia, and I hope that we can also continue these exchanges. We've done in the past also Indian Film Festival or Korean Film Festival, Japanese Film Festival. So we are working with every country to really open this partnership as much as possible. Because what is interesting now also is a lot of the classic films are being re-digitalized. So there are no possibilities to screen films that before you did it really the machine to screen 35mm reels. But now that all the countries are revisiting their classics and making restoration, and so this year, for example, we have very great film from France that have been restored, and Australian also. So it's really this new film that we are very excited about, because it's really rediscovering classics films, but with the quality improved. So it's really nice.
That is wild. Yeah. What role do you see the festival playing in promoting Cambodian arts and culture?
Well, the thing with cinema is that it's not just cinema. I mean, when you talk about painting, you mostly talk about painting, but cinema it covers everything. Cinema has music, cinema has performance, cinema has a lot of the arts that are collaborating to and also it can cover so many topics, because each of the films in a festival is gathering a different community. So we have film about sports, it will gather the sport community. We have films about history, it will gather the history community. We have films about Cambodian culture, it will also gather another community. And every festival, I mean every component programs of the festival is really touching a diversity of people, which makes also the festival for everyone, because we have a program for the kids that are 5 years old up to no limit, because we have a very interesting program that could interest older people. They can go with a family and then share their culture together. So and for foreigners who wants to learn about Cambodia, there's not a better place than the festival to discover through the aircon and the very nice sitting in the theaters, which is always better than walking in the forest sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Can you tell me about how the pandemic impacted the festival?
It did, of course. We we were probably the last event in Cambodia, and when there was the outbreak, so we had, of course, to follow the stop of all cultural activities in March 2020. And of course, I think like everyone, we were wondering when life would come back to normal. And so it has been years of wondering whether there will be ever another festival. And then, yeah, we had this really great partnership with the Australian Embassy, which pushed us to do a very nice 2022 edition. And we could see in 2022 that there was a lot of people following, waiting to have an event and to come back together. So we had a very huge success in 2022, because I think, yeah, it was really the time when, you know, the time that people were expecting and had been waiting for so long. And so it was difficult time, of course, economically. I think in most sectors, it was difficult for filmmakers, it was difficult for film crews, actors. I mean, nobody could work, so it was very tough for everyone. And of course, it impacted also the many businesses in Cambodia, which also after makes it sometimes more difficult for us to find sponsors and partners. So yeah, I think it's recovering slowly, but of course it has had a strong impact on the festival, the COVID period. Yes. Yeah.
Can you tell us about any special events or panels or anything, any announcements that are taking place this year?
Well, we had the pleasure to confirm that Matt Dillon is going to be a patron of the festival. So Matt Dillon, who did 20 years ago the movie City of Ghosts,
yes.
And so we'll be very honored to have him support us, and also I think it's someone that the young Cambodian generation need to rediscover.
Oh, sure.
And so we'll help on that. And so we're also creating this the space at Olympia Mall, which is a new great venue that has opened a few years ago. But we're creating a real village there, a cinema village, with that will create a lot of attraction, with a lot of activities. And it's also connected with a very great Legend Cinema that is also in the same mall, where we're gonna have a lot of combined activities. Of course, we are everywhere in Phnom Penh, so I mean, I think everywhere where people live, they can access some of the screening. But really, to create that center in Olympia is going to be a very, very interesting event, and make it special, I think, for everyone. Yeah.
Wow. How do you support emerging Cambodian filmmakers?
Well, every year we have new filmmakers that we promote in different programs. Cambodia in Short is, of course, one of the programs that really put forward the filmmakers that are reaching a certain standard. So we're trying always to have this. And then we also have, we include always labs, films. It means like workshops that have been made for first-time filmmakers. We try also to give them the experience of showcasing their film. So there are two organizations that have done trainings, and we're going to have present their work. We also have really workshop of documentaries conducted by Bophana over the 2022-2023 years. And so we're going to have, like last year, about 50 new filmmakers, so that they will do their first film and show their first film at the festival. So it's this platform that we are really offering to make also these young filmmakers understand that, yes, once you have worked hard to make the film, there is this other part of filmmaking, which is being in a room and then showing what you've worked for many months, and we really want to do that. And I hope also we can organize other programs to support more at different levels of writing or production or distribution at some point. It's a project that we have for the future, of course.
Now, you mentioned the Bophana Center a couple of times. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and what
Yes.
you do?
The Bophana Center, I mean, has been running for almost 20 years, and it's really the first step to rebuild an industry in Cambodia. It has been initiated by Ye Panaka, who was a very important person at the Ministry of Culture and Royal Palace. He was close to the king, and filmmaker Rithy Panh. Also, they work together to launch this center, because after the Khmer Rouge there was not one image, I mean very few images left after this period. So the idea of the Bophana Center was to collect the images that were left here and there, and then to gather them and to make them available. That was the first project. But of course, after, there is also training project, there is screening every week, and activities, exhibitions. So it's really a center, cultural center around cinema. And after, of course, it was also initiating the project of Cambodia Film Commission with the Ministry of Culture, which is also another step. But it's really structures that are for the filmmakers, base where they can really get help, advice, or support. And of course, there could be many more in the future, but I think these two were the initial ones to collaborate and support the rising industry, yes.
It's interesting that it started with essentially an archiving mission, right? Like to save those images, to save what was left after the genocide.
Really the statement was to say, if you don't know your past, if you don't have your past in hand, how can you build your future? So this is really a very simple statement, but that makes sense. I mean, we are coming from somewhere to go somewhere, and we don't come from nowhere. So the images, the sound, the memories are what is building a nation and a common consciousness for people. So I think it was a very important point, such as also rebuilding the other arts community and arts sector, traditional arts. I think all of that, of course, there is a lot of work to do in Cambodia to rebuild all of these memories and sectors, yes.
What message would you like to send to filmmakers and artists that are interested in participating in the festival in the future?
Really, it's a platform, so we offer always a lot of possibility, collaboration. We have a lot of people who are helping here and there, but it's also just a pleasure to come, enjoy, because that's the moment where you can take the time maybe from rushing or work, and then take time to see things, to discuss about films. And you can travel the world too, because there is a lot of fiction, documentaries in every topic. And I think it's a good time to step back, sit down with your friends, and then take coffee, take a beer, and then talk about it. Yeah,
absolutely. What are your hopes for the future of the festival and the Cambodian arts scene overall?
I'm seeing every year very big move, big changes. I know there are still a number of steps to take to really build a strong industry, but I think the components are coming. We will try to fit also wherever there is a need. So like I say, we have mechanism and ideas to support more the production or the support through in-kind or advice or funding through the film. So I think that is a very key thing to leverage really the burgeoning talents that we can see everywhere. But the structure, the economy, the circular economy is still not there. So I think there need to be create that circular economy in the industries will be one of the goals. Yeah.
And how can our viewers make sure that they are informed about the festival, the screenings, and can follow you online?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the Facebook here is always our main platform to share what's new. We have a website also where I think with the schedule that we're going to print and send everywhere, have a schedule with 170 screening that we're going to show during that week. So when you have your schedule, and then you can have the website and the Facebook, and then you keep up to date like this. We're going to have also a Telegram group and other things where we could slide in some refreshing information about the festival. Yeah.
Great. Well, we're going to have all of that information in the video description. And if you like today's interview, go ahead and comment, like, share, and subscribe. And come back next time. We're going to have a lot more new content, interesting conversations with people here in Cambodia. Thanks so much.
Thank you.